a lot of the people who are taking up this cudgel or taking up this crusade, and part of the reason I want to talk to you is because I really like and respect you and think you are not in this category.
Thank you.
Well, no, you're not a reactionary bigot, right? And like some of them.
Oh my God, here it comes. You guys wake up. Things just got interesting.
He's not. Look.
Yeah.
It's okay for me to talk to you because you're black, so therefore you're not a reactionary bigot. Also,
yeah, but I think he would
he's
call
liberal, so it's okay.
I think he would call Glenn Lowry a reactionary bigot because he's a conservative. I think that's just the categorization Chris Hayes has for anyone who's conservative. Yeah, right. Which is frankly bonkers, but whatever.
I try not to be.
Well, but some of them are. I mean, like a lot of them are. And this, look, when I was a kid and it was like, in the 90s, like, don't say the F word, to refer to gay people. It's like, oh, you can't say anything anymore. All this political correctness. Like, and the Z Morning, the zoo shows would would play on the air with like these, like, essentially verbal blackface, like making fun of black people. Like, that was just everywhere. And when people would call it out, it would be like, it's the same refrain, right? So it's like, it does seem to me like there are a lot of people who are crusading on this.
This is all fallacious argument tactics. Yeah. Okay. Because it could be true that in the past people have made incorrect arguments about using the same types of arguments about behaviors that we would agree is not acceptable or is racist. That doesn't mean anything about what's going on now.
Yeah. Now's a different story. Yeah. I'm curious because he brings up like the shock jocks in the morning making fun of black people, but I'm like, what? How are they making fun of black people?
I don't. The only shock jock I ever listened to was Howard Stern, and Howard Stern never made fun of black people.
Yeah,
but
I can't imagine it.
He would do voices, and he would make like the stereotypical black black urban voice. But then it was always in the guise of, first of all, his co-host Robin.
Oh, I know. Woman. Exactly. Okay. So he's sitting right next to
sitting right next to him. And also he was always doing it in the context of he grew up in kind of a very unique situation where I forget, he lived in some area of New York or New Jersey that had a lot of white flight, but his parents, being good liberals, didn't want to leave. So he ended up being the only white person in his school. And so he was always getting beat up because he was the only white person in his school. So he had kind of like this like reverse situation of what, would be fitting the normal mold for these kind of race relations.
Yeah. He had a unique perspective.
He always had a very unique perspective about this stuff. So it's like what I said with the Tosh jokes. Like there was a clip of like the Tosh .0 show. I forget when it was. This is probably pre-2016, where there was some video. I don't know if you remember, some viral video where these people like accidentally put their baby in the washing machine at a laundromat. And it started, and they all start panicking, and then the guy has to run over and open it.
How do you accidentally put your baby?
Well, no, like they put the baby in it, I think, just to like have them, but they didn't. They closed the door by accident or something. I don't know.
The dryer?
Insane.
They put the baby in the dryer?
It was a side-loading washing machine.
Okay.
And
smart.
So
that's where you should keep your baby all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So then Tosh had this whole joke sketch where he's at the laundromat and he's putting all these different babies in the laundry machine. And it starts with him putting a white baby in, and then he pulls out a black baby. He's like, oh, you have to separate the darks and the white.
Oh my god!
Because you don't want the colors to bleed over or something.
Oh my god!
And it's funny because of the context of laundry. Right,
Big
and I'm like,
trouble.
there's no way that anyone can make a joke even remotely close to that,
Which is sad because that joke is hilarious.
Because it's a funny joke, and it's obvious that it's not.
And it's not bad taste. I mean, it's not. No. You're not saying, come on.
He's not promoting racism, okay?
Yeah.
He's just referencing it in a way that's shocking and funny, and that's what makes it funny. It's because it's shocking. And
so bad.
Right.
Who are actually reactionary bigots or essentially empowering them.
And here's the thing. It's all about perspective. And so I think a lot of people would say that, okay, yes, there are some excesses with this racial reckoning in the New Crusade, but, you know, if you want to make an omelet, you have to break some eggs. Life is never perfect. And really, in the grand scheme of things, something great is happening. And I would say that if one is going to push back against the excesses, and a lot of the reason I'm doing it is because, in a way, all of this is being done in my name as a Black person, not individually, and I feel condescended to and diminished by it in the name of my people. If I'm going to be somebody who pushes back, quite aware that my being Black means that it's harder to say that I'm a white supremacist, even though some people are going to say it anyway. I know that, yeah, there are going to be some of these yeehaw, ignorant, racist people who come along with it. I'm not sure I see the evidence that they are the dominant strain of it. I'm not sure that I see the evidence that they drive it, but they are there. Their very presence, as long as I'm not working with them or, you know, egging them on directly or telling them that I'm in their corner, their very presence to me is not something that I can spray for as if it was some sort of fungus. I can't make that go away, but those people can't make someone like me not speak up and very directly and over a long period of time. They'll always be there. And Chris, you and I may differ on this, or we may not. There will always.
This is the same argument the Surfs was making about Kyle Rittenhouse. It's like, how dare you be on the side of an argument that bad people are on? Okay, it's like, yeah, Chris, I'm sure that there are people that you would agree with the economic policy prescriptions that they're talking about, or even the racial justice prescriptions. You would agree with them, but then you'd find out that those people are either communists who want to abolish capitalism and private property and want to kill landowners and landlords, and you disagree with that. And also on the race issue, I'm sure that some of the people that you would be agreeing with, then you'd find out that they're actually Black separatists and they want to have, you know, a Black only country somewhere in the US. Okay. And you disagree with that. Okay. Does that mean that your arguments suddenly are not valid because people you vehemently disagree with are using
share the same arguments?
Right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Always be such people. The idea is to make them as few as possible. I always say Emmett Till wasn't killed by a hate group. He was just killed by some people, and, you know, everybody who those people knew basically agreed or would wink and let it pass. Today, he would be killed by uniquely hateful people who would be despised by even most of their community. That's the difference. The idea that there would never be that kind of person.
That's a really good, quick distillation of the difference between then and now.
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Emmett Till, they were like, yeah, who cares? Now they'd be fucking, are you
right?
George Floyd. Come on.
Floyd, perfect example. Perfect example.
Yeah, it's a completely different world. But nobody wants to step up and say, we've made great progress. Listen, we've made amazing progress. They want to stand up and say, we have so far to go. You won't believe. At Harvard, I saw the N-word and 5 asterisks on a test. Oh my God. Yeah. It's awful. It's awful, you know, when you're going to Harvard.
I know. Oh, I'm so oppressed. I'm going to law school, top college. Oh, my oppression is so outstanding.
Terrible.
Person, sure, I would know how to push for that because people are imperfect.
All right, but just to push back gently on that. I mean, you know, the most watched network in America, which had a direct line to the most powerful person on the planet for a long time, is just like immersed in this stuff all the time, and it's inherently connected and inseparable from a project about American.
Why is Fox News the most watched news station? First of all, it's not the most watched network. That's not true at all. It's the most watched news station. Okay, Fox News. But why is that? Why is that? Think real hard.
The most watched. Why is Fox News the most watched news network?
Yes. Think about this super hard.
Let me think here. Because it's not woke, maybe?
No. Let me think here. Could it be that there's 3 news stations, 2 of which are very left-oriented, and only one that's right-oriented?
You got it, yeah. They cornered the market. That's it.
Could it be that they cornered the market? Could that be it? Maybe. I don't know. And even if that wasn't the case. Okay. And you could say, yes, the majority of Americans in the country are right-wing evil conservatives or whatever. That would be irrelevant, especially right now when you say, well, wait a minute. The left controls the culture and has controlled the culture for the last 6 years or so. And right now, they currently control the executive branch and legislative branch of the government.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you talking about, Chris?
I mean, it's more than that because they also have like NBC, CBS, like every mainstream outlet.
Even more than that.
Yeah.
NPR. Yeah, I know.
Liberal.
It's even more. It's even more than that. That's why Fox News is so high, is because the left has such a dominant position on controlling most, or not controlling, but most news organizations are definitely slanted to the left.
Well,
Definitely.
and they're all obsessed with this like racial justice stuff, which most people are like, I don't know, this doesn't really fit in with my normal day-to-day experience. It almost seems like I'm watching some religious channel here.
Right.
Does it fit in? Does this stuff fit in with your day-to-day experience? I mean,
no, not at all.
remotely.
And I told you, even my very, progressive liberal mom was complaining to me because she's like, all they talk about NPR is race. That's all they talk about.
Yeah,
race.
NPR.
And I'm thinking, like, Chris, like, even from a purely pragmatic perspective, they're being so stupid because it's like, how many white people, okay, how many people in general who are on the left, who are Democrats, are going to turn off MSNBC, going to turn off CNN, are going to turn off NPR because they're just like, what the fuck? This race issues 24/7. Like, I'm fine. I'm trying to be a good liberal here. I'm trying to care about race, but it can't just be the one dominating factor through my entire life.
Well,
I think they're going to discover that without Trump, that they can't really push this narrative as effectively.
Oh my God. Yeah. Since Trump is gone, they're probably like, wait, I thought hold on. Biden's in office now.
That's right. We got rid of the orange bad man racist Cheeto. So why are we still talking about this?
Exactly. I can't. Why don't you float this by your mom? Why don't you say, listen, Mom, have you tried Fox News? I don't think they talk about the race stuff so much.
Yeah, but the idea is,
why don't you just give it a shot?
I don't want my mom to leave one rabbit hole to jump into the other rabbit hole of stupid. Okay,
oh
that's
my
not
God,
the goal here.
No.
Right?
Fox News is not that bad. Some programs are totally just obviously the opposite of MSNBC. But I just want you to float it by your mom just to see what she says.
No, she's gonna. Of course, no.
She's gonna laugh in your face.
She's gonna laugh in my face.
Why?
Because she's a whole.
Oh no, we lost Sitch again.
The baddies.
So she buys
she's not gonna.
She buys into Fox News.
Yeah, of course,
it's like
she does.
The white supremacist channel.
Well, no,
she's like, I don't like NPR talking about race so much, but they're right about Fox News.
She doesn't buy into that, like, oh, it's a bunch of racists. She buys into like, oh, well, they're a bunch of Republican conservative morons, and I disagree with everything they say because they're Republican conservative morons.
I gotcha.
But that's what Chris doesn't understand, is that there is a contingency of people who will switch sides just because of this stuff. Because they'll say, look, I'm not super heavily invested in the politics, and all I see is that the left seems to be super concerned about trans youth and black people, and they hate white people. And like, this is how it seems to me, so I guess I'm not a Democrat anymore. I mean, we've already seen that so much with the Zoomers.
Yeah. I think I technically fall into that category. Like, I'll turn on the news occasionally just to see what's going on. I'm not super invested in politics or the news or any of that kind of stuff, but it's to the point where I can't listen to CNN for more than like 5 minutes because it's just in your face. It's so over the head with all this stuff. So I end up turning to Fox News because I just want the fucking news.